Shush. Hello folks, and I hope you're all keeping well. Thanks again for deciding to give my video a watch. I had a comment left on the last video I put up, the version of Link Ray's Rumble, from a guy called Alfie665, and he asked me if I could do a breakdown of my version of Oxygene. Now, I completely forgot I never did a breakdown of this, so I do apologise. So we're going to try and write that today for you. And say, if you like the stuff that I'm doing, please consider subscribing. It would be very much appreciated. Anyway, let's have a look how we did this. So basics first, we've got a tempo of 120 beats per minute. We're using all four of the parts, so digital synth 1, 2, drums and analog. The sequence is a 12-note sequence, so you need to go into the pattern length and change that to 1/12. So it's a 12-note sequence that we're using. So let's have a look at the drums first. So we'll just isolate the drums for you and just play them. So quite an interesting little pattern there, a bit like a bossa nova from a very old sort of home organ sound. So let me show you how I made that. So first of all, I'm just going to delete it, and we'll just recreate that one for you and just build it up as we're going along. So we're using the drum kit is the CR78 kit 1, and we're using the bass drum, and the bass drum is going to go on positions 1, 6 and 7. We're using the rim shot sound, and that's going to go on positions 11. We're using snare drum 1, and that's going to go on position 12. We're using the partial hi-hat, and that's going to go on all 12. We're using the open hi-hat, and that's going to go on positions 4. So open hi-hat on position 4. And finally, this lovely sound who's going to go on position 10. I don't know what you describe that on. It's called the hit on here anyway. Use the hit sound, and it's going to go on position 10. So that is the drum pattern. So the analog synth, let's have a listen to the analog synth and what it's doing. Turn it on. So that's that sound that it's making. Now what are we using for that? Analog synth, it's using all 12 notes of the sequencer, and the pattern it's starting up here. So we're shifting up 1 octave, 1 octave up, and we're using the square bass 1 sound for this. And the notes that we're using are the C's, the B flat, C. It's just basically C's and B flats. Now the easiest way to do this is to program the notes in on the sequencer. So like before with the drums, I'll delete this one and put it in again for you. So C on positions 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6, and 8, and 10, and we got a G in there as well. A lonesome G appearing on position 12. So there we go. And the B flat is going to go on 3, 7, 9 and 11. So let's have a listen. So there's the drum, and let's put the drums in as well. You can hear the sound is coming together now. So Digital Synth 2 has got the bass pattern on it. So let's have a listen to Digital Synth 2. This nice sort of bouncy bass pattern. And the bass that I'm using is the Juno bass, just called Juno bass. And we are shifted up 1 octave. And let's have a look. So, no, we're not shifted up 1 octave. We're shifted down. Down 2 octaves, David. So down 2 octaves. So that's the pattern that it's playing. But again, it's far easier just to program the notes in rather than trying to record them. Have a go at recording it if you want to, it's entirely up to you. So let's erase that pattern there, and then we'll put those notes in for you. So we're starting with a C on there, and we're going no, we're not. Let's just erase that a minute. No. That's it. So C, B flat, C. And then there's a gap, so going back onto to position 9, we've got the G on position 9, B flat on 10, and then on 12 we've got the C again. No, it's not, that sounds wrong. I will get this right for you. Just erase that again. G on 9. Down to G again, not to C. So it starts again on. So it's going G, B, B flat. Sorry, G, B flat, G at the end. So we put it all together. Okay, so that's the sequence for the track completed. The next thing you do, you've got to learn how to play the chords on top of it. Now, in the original version I did of this, I used the transpose feature. So as the sequence is playing, I just press hold the shift key down and press the appropriate key to transpose it up or down the keyboard, like this. However, because I recorded this on a different recorder, and I no longer have that. It was a little Tascam DP006 I recorded it on, so I had to literally go back to the original video that I put on YouTube and work out for myself how I did this. Now, what I figured out, what you can do, you can switch the auto note feature on the JDXi, which allows you to play the chords. So you play these nice chords, And as you're playing those chords, the pattern will change underneath it. So if you're not familiar with this auto note feature, to turn it on, you press the enter key and the auto note, and there's a little C that will light up in the display here, and that will give you the tell you that the auto note feature is switched on. So the chords that I'm playing it on Digital Synth 1. I'm using hybrid strings, and we just shifted up 1 octave. So the chords that I'm playing, it's starting with the C minor chord. So to make that chord, you press the C note, the G note, and the E flat. And then the next chord is the G minor chord. So to make that note, make that chord, we're having a B flat, G and D, and the final chord is an F, which is a C. This C here, not the top one, the bottom one, F and A. Now when you're playing it, I think it's nice to actually have the keyhole switched on as well. So you press the keyhole button, and when you press the keys down, it will hold the key on for you. Take your hands off. So when you start playing it, this is what's going to happen. Start with the rhythm, or the sequencer rather. Press the key hold, and then press the chord. And that's how it's played. So you may think, well, where's the melody line? So again, to get the melody line, you've either got to record that on something and then play a melody on top of it from the JDXI using something like I've got a square wave and a saw wave sort of mixed together on this Juno D here, which gives this pattern. So the notes that I'm playing for that, it starts on a C, goes down to my cat's just come in. Come on, Sooty. Say hello. There's Sooty. You sit on there and behave. Right, so it's going C, G, E flat, and bottom C. Then it goes B flat. So B flat, A, G, D. So played along with the sequencer. Get it right. So that last little piece is so it's A, G, F, C, back to the first one. Now the chord sequence for the next bit stays the same, using exactly the same chords. So it goes. In fact, I use a different sound on that. We've got this nice sort of ringing. It's called 80s poly synth. So we're playing C and G. Then we're going D and A. Then we're going F and C. Then we're going up to this E flat. So E flat, D, C, B flat, G. Then we're going D, C, B flat. C, B flat, A. Then back to the playing the right notes. So that's the entire bit. I will try and play it for you, but I will tell you I tend to muff up when I go up to this piece up here. But we'll give it a go. So let's put that sound back onto there. Nearly. But with a bit of practice you can probably do that. And I say it's a lot easier if you can record it a little bit at a time and just play it over the top. I'm not that great a keyboard player, but I get by. Anyway, one more thing to show you. The whole thing starts and finishes with a nice sort of wind sound. Now on the JDXi, if you go to the FX, there is a preset on here called Tune Winds. Now if you just play about with the resonance and the cutoff, and you can get that nice sort of whooshing. Now if you can record that prior to the sequencer starting, you'll get a very nice effect at the beginning. So you start it off with the cutoff low and bring it up, and then sort of waver it, just whoosh it a few times, and then bring it, and it sort of let it die out naturally. But that's when the sequencer would cut in and start playing. A bit like that. But then you've got to fiddle about with the controls to get back to the there. If you're going to try and play it live, it would be a bit difficult to do that way. But who knows? You could probably get by. Maybe with just putting the sound on a sampler or something, maybe. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and please give us a thumbs up and drop us a comment. And if you have a go at making a version of it, send me a link to it. I'd love to see what you do and see how you get on. And again, if you've got any questions, drop them in a comment, and I'll see if I can answer them for you. Anyway, take care. I wish you all the very best, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.